Bright Beauty. Every student matters.
Hi students, welcome to the session. In this topic, we are going to talk about food habits of animals. That we are going to talk about how animals eat their food, obtain their food, and what are the different categories we place them in.
To study the feeding habits in animals. 1. Plant-eating animals or herbivores. Animals that eat only plants, fruits and vegetables are called plant-eating animals or herbivores. Some plant-eating animals are horse, cow, goat, elephant, rabbit, etc. 2. Flesh-eating animals or carnivores. Animals like foxes, leopard, lion, etc. eat the flesh of other animals. These animals are called carnivores. 3. Flesh and plant-eating animals or omnivores. Some animals eat plants as well as the flesh of other animals. They are called omnivores. Crows, human being, cockroach, etc. are omnivores.
I'm pretty sure many of you would have a dog or a cat in your house. Few of you might have cattle in your house, and you must have seen how these animals are eating and what all things they are eating. So based on their food habit, we can classify them into different categories. First of all, let's find out, let's take the example of different animals and let's find out what they are eating. So let's perform this activity. To name a few, we have taken the animals, say buffalo, then we have taken cat, rat, lion, tiger, spider, house lizard, cow and human beings. So let's understand what all things these particular animals eat. Like for in the case of buffalo, buffalo usually feeds on grass, oil cakes, hay and grains. Then cat will eat small animals, birds and milk. Then rat again will eat grains, right? Then it also eats any food material which is left behind, correct? Sometimes it also feeds on the meat. Then again lion is eating, say for example deer, zebras and different other organisms. Then again tiger will also eat this particular type of organisms. Then spider feeds on insects, right? House lizard again feeds on insects. Cow feeds on grass and similar things which the buffalo is eating. Human beings eat variety of things from the plant products to the animal products, right? So we see how different organisms are eating different kinds of fruit, different kinds of food. One is your plant origin and other is the animal origin, right? So we see how these animals are eating different kinds of food. So this is one of the activities which you can perform. You can go around and make a list of different kinds of animals that you are seeing in your everyday life. Apart from these animals, you can also add squirrel, because that is also something that you see on the regular basis, right? So you can add a squirrel into your list. Then you can add different other animals which you go around seeing, and then you write down the food that the animal is eating, right? So based on this activity, we see that usually animals are dependent either directly onto the plants or they are feeding other animals for their food habits. Based on this category, based on this activity, we can classify the animals into different ways. Let's understand this classification. First is your herbivores. These are the animals which are directly dependent on the plants. Directly dependent on the plants, right? So these are the animals which feed plants and are known as your herbivores animal. They are only eating plants, only plants, right? They don't eat anything else. Either they are eating grass or leaves or seed, fruit, whatever it is. They are only eating the plants, and that is why they are known as your herbivores. Then moving on, when we talk about carnivores, these are the animals which eat the flesh of other animals, right? These animals will not eat plant at all. They do not depend on the plant at all, and they are only and only they will eat the flesh of other animals. You know that leopard, tiger, they feed on the deers, they feed on smaller animals. Then eagle will feed us, say feed on snake, it will feed on rat and so on. So we know, and fishes also. So we know these are the animals which do not eat anything directly from the plant. So these are properly, or you can say purely based, or they purely rely for their food on the animals and the flesh of the animals. Then we have omnivores. So what are the omnivores? We have bear. These are the animals. Now we know bear eats berries, right? They also eat fruits. Also, these bear will eat fishes, correct? Similarly, a human being will eat plant products as well as they will eat animal products. Similarly, crow also will eat the plants, say for example grains, right? Grains which you leave outside. Also they will eat animals, dead animals, you can say, like say dead rat, mouse, whatever it is. So all these animals, these example, that is your bear, your human, your crow, all these will eat all the kind of animal, whether it is all the kind of food, whether it is your plant based or your animal product, right? So these are known as omnivores. These are the examples wherein these are the animals which will eat both animal as well as plant product. They don't have any kind of exclusivity about them, right? So this is the way we divide these animals into three major parts. One is the herbivore, other is the carnivore, and the third is your omnivore. Moving on, let's perform the activity, that is activity number 7. And in this activity, what are we going to do? We are going to pick up the animals from the activity number 6. Whatever the list that you have made, in our list we had taken buffalo, human beings, lion, tiger, all these, and then we are going to place them whether they eat animal or whether they eat plants. So let's go back and see what all animals we had taken. Let's talk about the buffalo first of all. Let's take buffalo, cat and rat, right? So where do we place buffalo? We will place buffalo in the herbivores. Why? Because buffalo only eats what? Only eats your plants. Then we put your rat in the omnivores again. Then again, moving on, there was lion and there was tiger. So we know that lion and tiger are to be placed in carnivores because they are based only, they can eat only and only other animals. Similarly, if we talk about lizard, right, if you talk about spider, they all feed on the flesh or they all feed on the other animal or the insect, right? Then you have cow, right? Humans will be placed in omnivore, right? So in this way we can, in this activity what we can do, we can take the list that you made in the activity number 6 and we can classify the animals based on their fooding habits, right? So we can place them in either herbivores, either carnivores or omnivores. So in this way we see that how the animals are divided based on the kind of food that they are eating, right? So whether they are dependent directly onto the plants or they are dependent on the animals for their food, or they can eat both the animal as well as plant product. So based on this, we know that humans will be placed in the omnivores, but we know that because of the increasing population and because of we do not have enough of food for everybody, so we have to find out the ways at the end to make the food that is there to that is available for everyone, because we know that how food is important to maintain the health of an individual. So if people are not getting enough nutrition, enough food, what will happen? They will not be able to survive, and this becomes the major problem in our country and in countries all over the world, that the increasing population should be fed accordingly. So we should find the ways in which how we can increase the food that is being produced so as to cope with the need of the food. I hope you were able to understand this particular chapter and you will be able to understand that different terms associated with the chapter, that is your herbivore, carnivore, omnivore, then you have different plant products and animal products, so on and so forth. I hope you were able to enjoy the chapter with me.